Hi guys, it's Sophie. Welcome to Spin a Good Yarn. This is a podcast where we talk mostly about knitting and spinning, but occasionally we do talk about some sewing, and it's so lovely to see how many of you were interested in my journaling videos, so I might include some more journaling content here. I hadn't planned on doing that really, I just kind of wanted to show my knitting journal, but yeah, lots of people seemed interested in like how I use my making journal, and I was digital last year. I used Notion and I planned everything on Ravelry and Notion, but I'm going back to analogue this year, so it's a little bit more fun. So I'm planning on doing probably monthly flip throughs and just journal overviews of my knitting journal, but do let me know if you want to see other journaling content on this channel as well, because I'd be really happy to do that. This today though is going to be a more standard knitting podcast format. I'm going to show you what I finished, I'm going to show you what I'm working on and anything new that's come in to my collection. If you watched my first video, the one for my knitting plans and goals, you'll know that I'm trying to stash down, so it's a little bit disappointing to have had stuff come in already, but we'll talk about it when we get there. The first object I wanted to show you is my only finished object so far in the new year, and it's not 100% finished yet. So this is my chunky Moulin cardigan, and it has been got from my cats in several places. I need to get a crochet hook really and try to fix the little pulls and tugs that they've made. I haven't yet finally blocked this one, and I need to add buttons. So I'm planning on adding some beautiful quilty buttons from Hall & Hoof, but that order just hasn't arrived yet. I actually ordered it back in December. So I probably will show this on my next podcast and actually show it to you on, because it still needs to be blocked and it still needs its buttons. I just wanted to check before I block it that the buttons are okay and I'm happy with how it looks, so that I can kind of just be sure like exactly how I want it to be before I technically count it as finished. But yeah, where it's been in my wardrobe, can you see my cat's had a few pulls, because normally I store them a little bit differently, but because it's been like half finished, I wasn't quite sure what to do with it. So yes, that's my chunky Moulin cardigan, which is nearly done. I knitted this one up in Bird Street Yarns DK in the colour Mallard. That's the green shade. I'll show you a bit closer in a moment. And I held it with petroleum green, knitting for Olive's soft silk mohair. So here we are. That's just what the fabric looks like up close. And I think it's really pretty with those two colours coming together. Gives a really nice marling effect. So yeah, I'm really happy overall with this garment. I like the fit of it, but I will show it to you again next time when it's 100% finished. Then the next thing I have to show you is actually a finished spinning whip. So I finished spinning, this is my first spin of 2026, this lovely fibre, which was in the shade Strath's Tide. And it's just absolutely gorgeous. I really enjoyed the process of spinning this one. I believe this one is a mix. I want to say it was like Rambouillet. Let me check actually for you. Yeah, so this was a mix of Rambouillet, Cormo. I've just forgotten the other one. Put it up on the screen. But it was by Skein and Stitch. I'll just show you the skein up close. This is what she's looking like. So really, really soft, like it's a really pleasant yarn. So I'm actually quite pleased with this one. And this is half of my spin to knit intentions for an Andrew Mary cowl. I also finished another spin in 2026 so far, and this one was a repeat spin, which was really good fun. This one is in the colour Mother Owl by Creative Anarchy, and it's 100% Polworth. This was one of my very first spins, and I struggled with this so much. Like, I was like, I'm never going to get the hang of spinning. It's too much. So it was really lovely to come back and revisit it. And I will say I still struggled to spin this as compared to like the Rambouillet, or I'm currently spinning some BFL. I think the Polworth is so soft, like this finished yarn is gorgeous, that I struggled to add enough twist to hold it together without making it lose its softness. So I was fighting with it a little bit, because I would be trying to keep it so soft that I would be breaking the fibre as I was spinning it. But again, I'm happy with how this one came out. I'll show you it up a little bit closer so you can see some of the colours in that. Yeah, hopefully you can see it's a lovely like tonal, but with yeah, just different depths to the colour. And this one came out about a DK weight as well. So next I thought we'd talk about spinning whips, just since we're on spinning. So this is my current fibre that I'm spinning up. It is the Little Grey Girls 100% BFL. The colour is Coveney, and I actually have 200 grams of this. I might make a Sophie scarf or a similar like triangular shawl where I can work up to half the weight of the yarn and then go backwards. But I'm really enjoying this. It's spinning up really beautifully. There's enough cream in here that it's sort of muting the colours, but in a really lovely way. And I'm really curious to see how it's going to ply. I am just going to 2-ply it. I thought about 3-plying it because I want to do that as a skill this year, but I think to get the amount of yardage that I want, I think it's better to 2-ply it so that I get like a good amount to be actually knitting with at the end. I'm trying to spin more to knit rather than just the process of spinning. But I'm really enjoying spinning this up. I've spun it really quickly. And I actually prepped all the fibre, or half the fibre, 100 grams worth, at my local Spinners and Weavers Guild, which I'm so proud of myself that I went to. It was one of my goals of the year to attend, and I really enjoyed it, and I've signed up to be a regular member of the guild each month. So yeah, that was really exciting. It was lovely to spin socially with so many people. There were like 50 people there. I thought it was going to be like 10 of us, maybe. It was absolutely packed, and I'm definitely going to go back. I do need a battery for my e-spinner though, because there were a few people with e-spinners, but it was definitely set up for traditional wheels, and so I couldn't actually spin. I did chat to people about spinning, and I knitted and I prepped fibre, and I did some like measuring of some spun fibre. So I had lots of things to do, but I want to spin there, right? So I need to get myself a battery so that I can do that next time. Then I have a few active knitting whips. So the first one is the beginnings of, we're just so rolly. It's so going to be so hard to show you. This is the beginning of my Olga jacket by Petite Knit. Loads of people have knitted this one, and one of my wardrobe gaps was a striped cardigan, and I actually decluttered a very old striped cardigan that was needed to go. It's to sort of prompt me to knit this, because I do reached for that fast fashion fully like acrylic cardigan a lot, and I know that I can make myself something so much nicer. So in getting rid of that, it made me cast this one on. I'm knitting these ones with Nellie and Eve's 4-ply. They're all naturally dyed wools. This is in the shade indigo, so it's naturally dyed with indigo. I'm holding that on double because when I went to Unravel, I think is where I saw her, she didn't have DK weight, she only had fingering weight. So I was like, it's fine, I'll hold it double. And then I am using this white colour, which is from Fernhill Fibres, which is a local to me eco-regenerative farm. And this is their Luster double knit, and that's a mix, I think, of 6 different British breeds. I'm actually probably enjoying knitting with their yarn more than I am with the Nellie and Eve. It's still has some of the spinning oils in it, and it's actually quite pleasant in the winter to have those oils as you're working with it. But yes, so I'm happy with how this is starting, but it is only starting. I finished my short row shaping, so you can see I'm just kind of working a little bit of the length on the back now. But it's a very easy project. It is literally just knitting and then purling across. So, and it's stripes, so it's just, yeah, it's a good one for my brain sometimes. Then I have one, it looks so long, one book nook sock. So that's what this one looks like. It actually is constructed using a strong heel, and it has a garter stitch sole. I'll show you up a little bit closer. So that is what the strong heel construction looks like, and it moves into that garter stitch for the heel, and it's just a 3x1 rib down the length of the sock. And I don't love it, so I don't like that you can see the garter on the front of the sock, because you have to split your stitches with fewer in the front than the back, so it forces you to see some garter. And I don't hate it, but I don't love the fit of the strong heel. It was mostly an experiment to try the strong heel out in choosing this particular pattern, but It's not my favourite. I think probably you can see what I mean right about here on these edges, that you can see the garter, which I just think is a bit frustrating. I haven't yet cast on the second sock, but I will finish these. I've had this yarn in stash for a while, so I'm excited to be finally using it. It's hedgehog fibres in the colourway Sin, and I'm making these extra long because I want to use as much of this yarn up as I can. And then the last whip that I have is one I've just been loving knitting on, I've got to be honest. And it's my anthology shawl, which I'm knitting up with my advent that I got from Creative Anarchy this year. So it is a pie shawl, a circular shawl, that's the right way. And this is what it's looking like so far. The cables, this is the longest cable I have, are obviously too short for it, but hopefully you can kind of see the design. It has just knitting in the round, which I think is pretty technically garter. I mean, on the back it's not. Yeah, no, I don't know, stockinette garter. Anyway, it's knitting in the round, but it's knitting around. Not quite sure what you would class that as. With just some eyelets added throughout, partly as increases and partly as decorative elements to it. And I'm just loving it. It's just great fun to be playing around with all the colours, and like because the mini skeins are so little, it's just really fun to kind of achieve things so often as you're going. So yeah, I'm really enjoying that one. That one's definitely my like dopamine knit at the minute. And to be honest, spinning is as well. I'm finding a lot of enjoyment in spinning this month. So I'm really enjoying those. I feel like the book knit sock is my like second sock syndrome. The Olga jacket is my kind of like sensible project, and then my anthology shawl is my just like dopamine hit. So that's everything for whips. On to acquisitions, and there should be none technically, but there are 3. So these were all gifts. I haven't actually broken my like no buy. I'm not a complete no buy, but like I'm not supposed to be on a no buy until I finish 3 projects. So I haven't bought anything, but I have been gifted 3 things. So the first is this Nomadic Yarn self-striping sock yarn in the colourway Meet Cute, and it's in their tweedy sock base. It's just such gorgeous yarn, it's beautiful colours, and yeah, I'm really excited to knit this up. I knitted my failed Space Dad socks for my husband in a Nomadic Yarns colourway, and I love their self-striping. It was just so fun. So I'm really excited to have this. This one actually was like a surprise late Christmas present, so I hadn't realised. My family, we're list people, so we did a list, and we always have too many things on it than anyone would get us, but it just lets people have some choice. So I didn't know I was getting this, and my mum had ordered it for me, and it was coming from Canada, so it came late. But yeah, so that's exciting to have that one. That'll make a lovely pair of socks. And then my mum also gifted me these 2 skeins as an early birthday present. So she went to Porto recently, and there's a lovely yarn store in Porto. I think it's called Oliver Negro, I think so. And she went in there for me and had a little nose around and spoke to the lady who owned the shop or was working in the shop that day. And this is what they recommended. So this yarn is Abaneia, and this is Portuguese yarn that is naturally dyed and is very local to where the store was based. So yeah, it's 50 grams, 135 metres. So I would say it's probably about a DK weight. And yeah, it's for a merino sheep. So it was really lovely. Because it's about 100 grams of DK, I'm guessing I'm probably in like hat gloves territory, which is exciting. But it's also really fun to have someone else choose colours for you. I just think, like, would I have chosen these out of all the shop? I don't know, but it's so fun to have them and to have the opportunity to work with them. So that's everything for today's podcast. Hopefully you've enjoyed. I'll see you guys again soon in my next video, which I think is probably going to be a January flip through of my journal. But yeah, remember to leave in the comments down below if you want to see more journaling content on this channel. And if you haven't already, please do subscribe. I mentioned in a previous video that about 68% of my viewers don't subscribe. So yeah, if you enjoyed this video and got this far, just have a little think about it. All right, I'll see you soon. Bye.